Welcome to the Wayfaring Panda. I'm Annette. Today I'm participating in the Paw Your Way into Our Hearts hop, which is a hop where we scrapbook our pets. And I'm also participating in the Follow a Sketch February put on by Sandy Reversky. And there's a sketch for each day in February. And today's sketch is for February 20th, and it's made by Kelly Holifield for papersecrets.net. And I'll put that sketch up above. So for this sketch, I took a piece of paper from Photoplay, and it's their Snuggle Up paper. And this was their boy collection, but it's old, so I don't think you can find it out there unless you find it on a secondhand market. Anyway, I cut out a circle, and then, so I'm using one side, which is striped, for the outside area, and the part that has the koala bears I'm going to glue in the center, and I'm just using my Nuvo Deluxe glue. I chose some papers from the collection and cut them out according to the sketch. So I have this long skinny piece that looks like sloths are hanging on it, and one thing I did discover is it's kind of directional, because if you turn it the other way, the sloths look like they're climbing up the tree, but if you look at their bodies, they're actually laying on it. So you want to make sure that you have it going the way I just put it, so it looks like they're either laying on top of the tree or hanging from it. And I actually cut it wrong before because I didn't realize that at first. And then I chose another piece of paper that has like the alphabet blocks and one that has stitching, so that I would have some paper that has big prints and smaller prints so that it would contrast. Even though this paper collection is meant for baby boys, I decided it worked great for a puppy. I think when I first saw it, I was kind of thinking of my cousin because she loves koala bears, and at the time when I bought this, she had some baby grandsons, but they're a little bit older now. Actually, I think they're in elementary school, but she has never had any photos that I know of for me to scrapbook. I think she saves them all electronically. Anyway, you can always think outside of the box when you're looking at your crafting supplies and papers, because you don't have to use them for whatever the theme is. So it was for a baby boy, but I'm using it for a puppy. But it could also work for zoo pictures. Maybe you have some baby zoo pictures that you want to scrapbook. Or maybe you have some Australian animals you want to scrapbook. So I just lay out my papers to see exactly where I'm going to put them, and then I start gluing them down with my Nuvo Deluxe glue. I chose to do these two photos I got from the breeder, and this is from our previous dog that we had. So she's probably about 7 or 8 weeks old here. She sent us these photos of the dog when we were deciding if we wanted to purchase a dog from her. We also had our name on some list from shelters, but there hadn't been any dogs that came available that were what we were looking for. We pretty much wanted something like a Schnauzer. We really preferred a Schnauzer, or it could have been a terrier that did not shed. So something in that frame, the 10 to 20 pound type dog. Now, these photos are smaller than in the sketch, but you don't have to use photos that are exactly like the sketch. You can change it up however you want. So in this case, the pictures are smaller, so there's more of the paper showing, but since there's so much different papers and patterns, I didn't think that mattered. And the one where the dog is sitting down was actually a little bit bigger, but I trimmed it down because it was just grass, so that way at least it would look a little bit more vertical. And I'm adding my photos on some gray paper. Then I attach my photos to the layout using mounting squares. Of course, you could use tape or glue. I don't usually prefer glue because I think that might kind of warp the photos. So I usually prefer either double-sided tape or the mounting squares. Now, at first I got them out because I forgot that I had already put them on the back when I was watching TV. Then I'm looking at the sticker sheet that came with this collection to figure out what I wanted to use to embellish. And I decided to go with the little banner letters that say baby and use that as my title. And then I picked out some other stickers to use in that cluster that in the sketch is flowers. I chose the sloth sticker for the embellishment area. And then I also chose the words love you lots and added that below the baby title. I decided to add the moon and some stars below the sloth because I figured nap time goes really well with a dog. So even though this is in the daytime, she does look like she's resting in the bottom photo. And she also looks like she's giving us that little puppy look that we always said, puppy eyes, where she kind of looks up with the corner of her eyes up at you. And she always did that when she wanted you to pet her or snuggle on her. I thought I would use my Sepia Micron pen to add some faux stitching to the banner to make it look like it's on a string, but then it's when I decided that I wanted my letters to go a different way to make it look like it's hanging down from the paper. As I looked at it, I decided that the faux stitching needed to be grounded to the paper, so I found 2 stars on the sticker sheet and just put that where the string ends on both sides. The sketch shows journaling around the circle, so I thought that was pretty unique. So I used my sepia pen to do some journaling, and I just wrote that when my sister saw the picture of who we eventually named Jackie sitting in the grass, she decided she wanted the dog because it reminded her of her previous dog named Scamp because of the way that she's sitting. My sister originally had thought maybe she might want to get a white dog like a Westie, or we found out there were such things as white schnauzers, so she kind of was leaning towards something like that. But when she saw this picture, decided this was the dog that we were going to get. As a final embellishment, I'm adding some pops of color, which come from Scrapbook.com, and they're enamel dots. You may see these in other type of things like Nuvo drops. And the first color I'm using is Pearl Seafoam, and the lighter blue one is called Glass Sky Blue, and then the white one is called Pearl Satin. Now, I think I finally figured out how to use these so you don't get a peek on them. A lot of times if you do these liquid enamel dots, they'll form a little peak like Dairy Queen, and it's hard to get them down. So I figured out with these, what you need to do is flick it from the back, but you can't do it too long after you put it on. So I just do a few of the dots, and then I flick it with my finger from the back, and then I add some more. So I'm just doing one color at a time. Now that I know how to use these, I really like them because it will be more economical than buying actual enamel dots, and plus you can get them in so many different colors. And there's other ways that you can use them. I know I have a video of using it to make a card. I think it was a sea turtle card that I used, and that's why I had these kind of colors, because of the sea glass. I'll put a list of all the products that I'm using in the description below. Some of these will be affiliate links. They don't cost you anything extra to use, but I do get a small commission from any sales that the links generate, and that helps support my channel. Also, down below, I'll put a link to the playlist for Paw Your Way Into Our Hearts, so you can get some more ideas of scrapbooking pets. And also I'll have a link to Follow Sketch February playlist so you can see a variety of ways that different people use this sketch as well as other sketches for the month. Yesterday I did film another layout that will be the companion page to this, and it's using the same paper collections, and I used some photos from the breeder that show her right after she was born, or maybe a week old. It didn't have the ages on it, so I'm not sure, but it shows her progression over a couple weeks, so you can see her really little baby pictures and how I scrapbooked that using the same papers, as well as a different sketch that also had a circle in it. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and if you're not already a subscriber, I'd really appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.